Oh my god, I can barely talk. Look the situation over here. That's a real winter storm. Look at the cars, the street, and it's going to last until tomorrow. That means 24 hours of snowstorm. Freaky. Okay, that's what the winter storm looks like. Oh my gosh, I can't record a video right now, guys. Hey guys, Igor here, wishing you a happy Sunday. So now I'm able to talk because the situation was terrible. A few hours ago, we have right now a snowstorm happening for the second time in Toronto. We are expecting like something like 40 centimeters of snow today. So back of me, you can see Jason, Todd, and Carrie Kelly. They just had a meal, and now they just are just cleaning themselves after yummy meal, right? So basically, I just wanna share with you quick thoughts about what we have today. During the meditation session, I went to a Buddhist temple. I have visited many Buddhist temples in Toronto recently, and trying to find people on the same page to at least to have a conversation, because when you start a personal awakening, it looks like everybody just trying to keep away from you, like your frequency change too much. So sometimes it's hard to find even friends to talk. Anyways, but the subject today was about enlightenment, and one thing that called my attention today was I was curious to know about Buddhism opinions about the reincarnation. So recently we have good news about David Icke channel. He recovered his channel, and recently David Icke recorded a video about reincarnation trap, which is, by the way, something that I have talking about many years. And I'd like to comment this video associated with what happened today in the Buddhist temple. So basically, when I was there, I questioned them about their views about the reincarnation. Like, is that something that you can choose, or we are not able to choose? And I'm surprised that one person who she's part of the community, she doesn't have an opinion about it. She was able to listen to me, but doesn't have an opinion about it. I spoke also with the monk, the main monk of the temple, and he said basically that that's something that we don't have choice according to the Buddha teaching. So that it's unbelievable to see how this belief system of dogmas have took over of most of religions, beliefs all over the world, even in Buddhism. So basically, I was questioned: do you think we have to come back here after pass away in afterlife? Do you have choice or not? So basically, they say it depends in which state you are dying. Like, if you are dying peacefully, you have a big chance to not coming back, which is true. But I would say there's something more is missing in that explanation. It's not just about to be a compassionate person, a good person, compassion. No, it's not just about that. It's also about knowledge. So again, what the person at the Buddhism temple told me today about dying peacefully is true, is very important. That will determine where you're going to your next level, your next stage into this simulation that you call, reincarnation, lifetimes, whatever you want to call. But there is something else you should know. It's not just about to be a good person, because again, good and bad are just interpretations of the coming from the both sides of the same coin. This is an experiment. So it's not just about to be a good person, it's about knowledge. If you have knowledge about the reality after passing away, for example, that you are, for example, that let's suppose that you just passed away and then you wake up in different dimensional level and on the astral plane, maybe fourth, fifth, or sixth dimension, it doesn't matter, and you are a good person. If you don't have knowledge about the reality that you just passed away and you are in living right, you are right there in a spiritual hospital in the astral plane, you can be easily influenced to coming back on that level, depending on what kind of person helping you in that hospital, spiritual hospital. So let's say, for example, you have a person who wants to manipulate you and make you coming back. And on that hospital, that doctor is going to help you. And after that, he's going to show your lifetime review here. And after looking to your mistakes made in life, they will try to convince you to come back. So that's not necessary, actually. They will try to convince you to come back. They will try to convince you to come back to pay in order to pay your negative karma, negative debit. So they cannot force you to coming back, actually, but they can influence you to convince you to coming back by showing your lifetime mistakes made in this life. So that's why you have to be prepared for that. Because if you are aware that you don't have to come back in order to pay any negative karma, actually karma doesn't exist. Maybe you say, oh, but we have action and reaction, cause and consequences. That's true. But let's suppose you did bad things. I have said many times, you can fix that in astral plane, working as a spiritual guide, helping thousands and millions of people from there. Because over there, you have your consciousness open about who you are. But when you incarnate here in the physical plane, that is not possible because you have amnesia about who you really are. So how are you going to help others if you don't even remember who you are? That's a big question. So how are you going to pay for your past debt mistakes if you don't even remember what you did? And are you completely sure that you have done all these bad things? Or that were ideas implanted in your astral body even before you were born here? And then somebody convinced you to incarnate here, to be in suffering, to pay for your debt karma. So I just wanted to say one thing. By suffering, nobody gets evolution. By suffering, nobody comes back home. Doesn't work that way. The sufferer doesn't have power to make you, let's say, remember who you truly are. No. What's gonna make you change, actually, it's something about consciousness. When you become aware about what you shouldn't do to the others and to yourself. So once you recognize, for example, a life mistake, you already have learned a lesson. You don't have to pay by suffering. But if you have this feeling of guilt on you, like you have to pay for your past mistake or something that you did, why don't you just help others instead? So this is a hologram. This is a hologram belief that we have to suffering to pay for past life mistakes that you even don't remember you did. How can you be sure you really did if you don't have recollection about this? So basically, you were talking about this, and I questioned her. Why don't you stay? Why don't you stay in the astral plane instead, coming back here one more time? If you can choose just working spiritual as a spiritual guy over there instead of coming back and reborn again with amnesia, because you probably be doing the same mistakes again over and over and over again, because the system has been manipulated to keep you trapped here. So this is really, really important. The reincarnation, this physical level that you are living, is basically a trap. She said, "Oh, but many people have chosen to be here for mission." That's true. I agree with that. But the risk of coming here and get trapped is too high. And only very few people on the planet can do that consciously. Most of people who are here, they actually are thinking they are here as a mission, but that's not true. They are here because they felt guilt about some event that happened in their past lives, and then they asked to reborn here again in order to pay for mistake from past lives. So we can see here the first problem is the belief that you are really doing something good and bad, right or wrong. This is an experiment. If you evaluate your lifetime as an experiment, there is no right or wrong, bad decision, good decisions. Was just about an experiment. If you did something that apparently is bad, okay, don't do it again. That was just an experiment. You don't have to feel guilt about this. It is this way, thinking this way, we start to free yourself from the belief system that's going to oblige you to come back reborn over and over again here. You just have to accept the life lessons as an experiment. But if you evaluate your life religiously, so any type of mistake you do in this life, it's going to influence you to coming back in order to pay this mistake. That's a religion's dogma that you need to overcome. And probably you're gonna feel guilt about something, like you're gonna probably believe that you have to save someone in this life, and you will ask it again in afterlife to coming back in order to help that person. So once you get back here, you will forget everything one more time, and probably you should do the same. You will do the same mistakes again because you don't have recollection about who you are, and the cycle continues. That's why they call this samsara wheel. So basically, I was talking with one of the people of the community, and I was trying to discuss about this, and she was like, "This is something really new for me." So I don't have opinion about this, but she was able to listen. That's very interesting, in my opinion. And I just think that when the Buddhism say that you have to get ourselves free from the samsara wheel, they are right. You don't have to reborn here, but you have to overcome the feelings of guilt and excessive attachments for the terrestrial life in order to be able to choose this type of big decision in life. But what they don't know, what most of them don't know, including my friend David Icke maybe, is that the reincarnation doesn't happen only here in the third dimension. The phenomenon of the reincarnation happens in the fourth and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh dimension, for example. And even between gaps and even between dimensions in spaces that I call gaps. And I usually call these locations as digital plans of the existence or holographic plans of existence, where people keep going and coming back from there. So right here, so the reincarnation actually is happening in many different levels. And I was trying to explain here basically that our mission is to going back to our I am. Instead of coming back, you can choose maybe to reincarnate in the fourth and the fifth, sixth dimension. And if you have evolution, if you have a high level of consciousness, you may choose not to reincarnate again in any physical form or race. It depends on the level of evolution you had. So basically, I was kind of disappointed to see that these religions dogmas have been infiltrated in so many religions, even in Buddhism, where I remember one of the monks saying that we don't have choice. That's not true. If you have conscience, if you have consciousness, if you are aware of who you are, your stellar origin, your process, you have choice. You can choose to not coming back here anymore, to keep your evolution on other levels and high levels, higher dimensions, or depending on the situation, even to choose to coming back to I am and just becoming energy only, just like before. So that makes me feel sad to realize that, but at the same time, the only way to reconnect ourselves back home is through meditation. And people in Buddhism, they have dedicated their lives to improve the meditation in their personal life. So this is a virtual that they have, and I recognize that. And I recommend you to improve the meditation practice in your life, whether making part of the community, Buddhist community or not, it doesn't matter. If you want to stay at home alone, much better. It's up to you. That's your choice. So that's basically what we discussed in today, and I hope you guys stay safe. If you have any question or comments about this video, about this type of subject, write a comment below this video so I'll be answering your question as soon as I get time. So stay safe, take care of yourself, guys. See you next time.